Welcome back to Aspects of Mourn. This would have been book 8. Also would have been within the third game if we had ever gotten off the ground. The title Excalibur Salem focuses on a human family, believe it or not. I did say there's some humans. I did also say there's some male characters. There's another one. It's the last male character you'll see today in this series, though. So bear that in mind. Excalibur Salem. She's my answer to Harry Potter, Harry Dresden, all that whatnot. She did study at a coven school, not a wizard in witchcraft, but a coven. She specializes in dual-wielding wands and chrono magic, which we'll get to, and stun magic, which is kind of interesting. Her usual allies are Holiday Fastball, her father, and Scarlet Warcry, her sister. Her quote is, "If I were a house, it would be, the ones with ravens." She gets asked that a lot by humans that are familiar with Harry Potter, and even some that aren't, because on this world, the world of Mourn, they do know about human culture, human novels, all that whatnot. So, her background is she graduated from Coven College. She hates alchemy with a passion, and that's only because she was roommates and is friends with Pumpkin Mask, and her friend is a specialist in, if you saw the thing on Rocket Pie, go look at that, because Pumpkin Mask is an alchemical specialist type witch. Excalibur Salem is on the hunt to find out why her mother left her father and the Coven life, and it all centers around a certain sword in her name, believe it or not. And her name is actually Excalibur Salem, by the way. Most people call her Salem or Callie. Her time magic slows and hastens things. She's got a little knack of being able to manipulate time. In my universe, I hate time travel, so I don't allow it. So there's no time travel here. Yeah, that's Excalibur. I love her because was my thing. I gotta have some humans to ground this down a little bit. So near the end, I was like, let's just put Excalibur Salem in there because I like her family dynamic, and her family dynamic's always been there. It's a family showcase of, they kind of go at each other, but they're always got each other's back. Her dad is Holiday Fastball, Mitch Holiday. He was a baseball player. He played for, I typed baseball, but it's baseball player. He's retired. He played for the Cubs. He dual wields 2 baseball bats, one magical, Bambino, and the other tech, Wrigley. My grandfather played for the Cubs, so I had to have a bat named Wrigley. His abilities, he has learned a little magic to help increase the velocity of any projectile he hits or throws. His quote is, "Want to see my home run pitch? You don't, because he breaks bats with it." His tech bat and his magic bat both do different things. I was going to flesh those out as I was writing. I'm, again, not going to get to that. Again, not enough time. His background notes are as follows. He is descended from the blacksmith that forged Excalibur. Yep. That's where we're going with that. That means his daughters are as well. His wife became obsessed with his lineage, causing their divorce. She vanished before the divorce was finalized. That's what this whole story is about, is them finding her and her obsession. And they actually find out that Holiday and his daughter's great-great-great-grandfather is still alive and still forging swords. And there's a little bit more to that, because they find a blacksmith on Mourn, because this whole thing starts on Earth. They find a blacksmith on Mourn, and that blacksmith on Mourn in the central city in Atlas Central is actually King Arthur. And King Arthur puts them on to the goes, "Oh, you want to find out who formed that thing, the sword that, oh no." And they do eventually find Excalibur. And there's a little bit more to it. And that much I'm going to leave reserved. But let's just say that Excalibur literally became its own being, renamed itself, and is bodyguarding the ancient blacksmith because the blacksmith is retired, and literally became a writer. And it gets down to that. And since Holiday the divorce hadn't finalized, but the mom has moved on. Let's just say it like that. The mom has moved on. And the last person in this is the sister. That would be Scarlet Warcry. Scarlet was also a witch, the older sister, by the way. She can control electrical constructs. My kind of answer to Green Lantern here, because I wanted to have a character very grounded like that, because every universe has a character that can manipulate some sort of energy constructs. And I was like, I kind of want something like that, but I want it to be a little bit more wildy. Her quote is, "The most shocking thing about me is I hate dust bunnies." That's kind of a joke. She does a lot of dry humor, by the way. Her personality's kind of like Egon Spangler from the Ghostbusters. That's literally was in my notes with her. Our background notes was exposed to an experimental form of lightning, now has red skin and static white hair. In other words, it stands up and flows back. She specializes in making weapon constructs out of lightning, and she favors claws and a bow that she can fire electricity from, which is kind of cool. And that's Excalibur Salem. We got one novel left in this series to go over before I do a world overview. And I'm kind of looking forward to this last novel because it does round things out. I will see you guys in the near future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.